As my followers will know, I do a lot of commentary against transgenderism and against the mob culture that's come with it. That's partially because I have previous experience when it was a mental health disorder, and that's what I want to talk about today, really. I've had enough of talking about how a group that wants more than special rights just have nothing in their heads at all. They're vacant, except with like fairy dust, something like that. But there are trans women out there who I respect, and I will not call a trans man a trans man until he has female genitalia. If somebody's willing to go to that level, I'll call them a woman. Got no problem with that. But if you're not prepared to go to that level, no, you don't get to be called a woman. You're a man. And I can prove it very easily. You show me a picture of 6 women, 6 men, and I say, what are you looking at? So I'm looking at a picture of 6 women and 6 trans men, trans women. And it's an objective truth. That's what I'm looking at. You can't argue with it. It's objective. So there is no more proof anyone should need. There's so many of us giving proof, and nothing much is changing it. I mean, it's being cracked down on a lot, but honestly, I find it very difficult in this immediate gratification. We want what we want. We want more than what you have. We know more than you about the planet. We know how to control it better than you do, and we've got a better plan for the future. And what we're going to do is we're going to be angry mobs rioting in the streets, get it screaming for you to listen to us, when all we can do is block out our ears from the deafening sound of your voices. And there are few exceptions, but there are many exceptions in the original transgender movement. And I'm going to highlight somebody today to pay respect to them, because, as I said, I have no quarrel with an individual, but I do with the movements. So, but this is Blair White. She is a transgender woman. She's very attractive, actually. Which I say actually. I mean, some transgender women are very attractive. Some aren't, but I don't suppose that's true of everybody. I don't count myself as a 10 out of 10, or even a 7 out of 10. But anyway, Blair is a conservative, hardcore. She's transsexual woman. She doesn't believe in pronouns. She doesn't believe in any of the fuss with what she calls, I think, the new brigade. Anyway, she's got a term for it. But she actually does a lot of stuff on YouTube, just mocking what they're doing and saying. And she can call them tranny, you see, which is a great power she's found. She can call them trannies because she's conservative. She's a Trump supporter. And from what I've known, there are a number of other transgender people I've seen. I don't know their names, and I haven't watched them quite so much, so I won't give a shout out. But Blair White, you have my respect. Ben Wilson-Smith sends a lot of love and a lot of hope for you and your blossoming career. So realistically, this movement will come to an end, because if you look at what my video, what is gender dysphoria, the likelihood anyone needs it is 0.03% in women and 0.0004% in men. And what's happening now is not like that. And the only explanation, other than it's popular, it helps you to fit in, and you don't have to cut off your genitals. That's the big one. You don't have to lose your tackle. It's enticing people into... It's basically young, confused, lonely people in a new world hijacked by a cult. And Blair would be the first person to point that out. And she has made a point, but somebody else made it more strongly, which is that the transgender activists are making life more difficult for the original transgender group that formed the T in LGBT. Because people are becoming more transphobic, even though that's not a word. Phobia is an irrational fear of. Frankly, I have a fear of what could happen and it's not irrational. I hate the word phobic as well. It's not really you have to apply it to an irrational fear of. But now apparently not using pronouns is transphobic. That can't be possible. Not linguistically possible. But there is a difference. There are young children, and they will have exhibited. Bear in mind, this was a mental health disorder until 2019. So when Blair White went through her procedures, she would have been under the, under that category. So she would have been only able to receive it if she met certain mental health requirements, for example, which were stringent and necessary. And she's glad of them, because you have to go through puberty to know if you really want to be trans. And then she went for a couple more years. Well, not really. I mean, she went for one more year, I think. And then she thought, yeah, I do. And fair play. Making an adult decision, not making anyone else's life miserable because of it. She's very funny. She's witty, charismatic, and she has a great take on a lot of things. And she's just really kind of, I was going to say ballsy, but that would be offensive. So not to her. She'd think it would be funny, but she's got plenty of gumption. She's got plenty of spirit in her. And like our J.K. Rowling on the hate speech laws, she's someone to watch as an up and coming star. And the reason I want to make this video, and the reason I leave it till the end when most people stop watching, is I make a lot of negative transgender videos, but I'm not against a single human being in any way if they are suffering with anything. As a therapist, that's against my code, and it's against my heart. It's against everything I stand for. Individuals, not groups. You can't just gather in groups and make people bend to your will. It's not right. But as individuals, if you need help, you should get it. And my advice, as always, is leave the mob and get professional help yourself, because then you will get professional help, as long as you don't go to a clinic and listen to WPATH, as they just had leaked files on the internet, which are pretty damning.